Hi and welcome back to the channel. Now this car hasn't moved under its own power for 48 years. I've been working really hard over the last 5 years to get it to a point where I can just get it to drive. So I've got just a few more small things to do and then we'll give it a go. So this is my MGA Coupe 1961 and I love this period in automotive history where you've got such advances like disc brakes being introduced and they're actually really trying to push the boundaries on how they could bend the metal and make some really nice shapes out of the bodywork, but still some traditional coachwork build. So it's got a separate chassis and the floors are made of plywood. Fortunately, this seat is still attached to the board, and even though it's so pretty rotten, it does conveniently show me the exact positioning of the seat on the board, which will be really handy to use this as a template. So I'm going to whiz the seat off and use those holes as a reference point for the new board. Right, so there's 7 pieces to the floor in an MGA, and I recovered, 5 of those, and there were some gaps when I took it all apart, and to be honest with you, the floor and the chassis itself was very rusted and rotten. Got myself a brand new sheet of 3/8 9mm 5-ply hardwood marine ply to replace this old rotten rubbish. So I'm going to use these, as I said, as templates, but I can't be super sure that the chassis itself is exactly the same as it was when these were put in. And by the way, I don't think that all of these are original, because there are various thicknesses and plies, but that was, you know, just the latest wood that had been put in there when the car was left in as a barn, my barn find, but left to rot in a barn somewhere. So I'm going to test each of these in the car just to make sure, because I'll play a little video, I think, of the condition of the original chassis, so you can see why I think I might need to do some tweaking, and these might not be exact templates, because most of the chassis itself had completely rotted away. You know, all of this is brand new. All of these angle iron and bars that the floor rests on, these are all brand new. None of that was there. You'll see in the video in a second. So and also I've completely remade the transmission tunnel. So again, back in another old video, you'll see that this was like Swiss cheese. So that's all brand new. A lot of that is brand new metal. So to be sure, I'll set the transmission tunnel out properly, because it's pretty loose at the moment, and then I'll use the existing wood as a rough template, and then maybe adjust it before I make cut the new pieces of wood or the new ply. So the body's now off of the chassis and I've got some work to do to repair, so I just thought I'd give a little walk round so you can see what state the chassis is in. There's certain spots around the outside there that need some work on. Some of it's reasonably solid, but there's certainly plenty to do. So I'm just gonna today just take the rest of the rolling chassis off, the axles, etc. Get the wheels off, so I'm just down to a bare chassis, and then I'm going to start welding. Front seems to be okay. Well, not surprisingly, everything around the engine bay is nice and clear, but clearly as you go back, particularly around the floor rails, etc., there's plenty to do. Right, well, I'm going to start with the part of the rear bulkhead there, because the transmission tunnel butts onto that and gives me a reference point. Let's get that piece cut out of the... Right. Spin it over because it's all crusty with underseal. And get it marked out. Oh, everything's paused. Postman's been. Got some new car parts. Let's see what we got. I love this. It's my favourite time of the day. Right, okay. Oh, okay, so I've got a brand new seat runner because I was missing one. So that's good news. Excellent. I've got... excellent. I've got a couple of springs for the choke on the carburettor. Couldn't work out why I couldn't tune it. It's because I was missing a couple of return springs for the choke, so it's running super rich all the time. I've got another spring, that's the accelerator pedal, return spring, and I've got the little rubber for the accelerator pedal itself. And in the nick of time, stainless steel countersunk bolts and their washers for the floor. Excellent timing. There we go. I've done a little bit of finessing on that piece to get it to fit in just nicely. Retacked the threads on the chassis because the powder coat had covered them up, and so got those nice and clean. And I'm starting now to do just a test fix with the nice new fittings on there, the hardware. Those washers look lovely with the stainless steel washers and stainless steel screws. Looks great. So that's fine. I think that's going to be great. It's got to come off now. And oh, no, the other thing I did was I've just placed the battery cover, which needs refurbishment. And that's not done yet, but just to make sure that fits nicely. So that's okay. Now the wood's got to come out now and get some paint on it. So I ordered the paint a while ago. I'm just hoping they sent me the right stuff. It's been a while since it arrived. Let's have a look, see what we've got. Okay, it is 2 tins. Lovely. Right, yes, so it's marine grade. There's a primer there. There's enough of it. It was quite light actually compared with the top coat. So it's a top side undercoat and a top side paint. So proper marine paint there. Should be do a good job on both sides. I'll do it on both sides. It's black as well. The top coat's black, or it should be black. So I'll do both sides of that panel. And that will be drying. I think as I do each panel, I'll do the painting and just make up a little production line. Ooh, a bit tricky. Don't have to damage anything. There we go. Right, we're out. So, bulkhead is drying there. I put a bit of paint on it. There'll be a few coats and a few days, I think, before that's finished. But before I get that on, I've got to fit the handbrake. So I've got all the various parts that I took off about 5 years ago, and I've got some rubber seals as well that need to go on. So we're going to give that a go, get that on to fit that onto the bulkhead, and then fit the bulkhead back into the car properly for its final time sealed in. That's the plan. So I thought I'd do a dry fit of the handbrake and the assembly, and I'm kind of glad I did, because I realised that these cross braces actually sit below the prop shaft, so I'm going to have to do all this in situ in the car, which is going to be a little bit awkward. So I kind of half put all the fittings in. Just one thing to note is that this bolt, all the bolts go from the outside apart from this one, because of the ratchet there. It needs to be fed in from the inside and have just a little bit of clearance, which that's got to get a nut on. So that's all okay. I know at least it fits. I've got these rubbers as well to just position, get those right. So I'm going to seal up as I put it in around these edges. I've got all the felt. I bought some felt for this, which I think would be the traditional way to do it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use more modern seam sealants, because that stuff just isn't as good, you know. Sort of a felt just does absorb moisture and it does rust, and this how it was before is proof of that. So all of along the edges there, I'm going to seam seal before, as I put it in there, get it nicely, get it in place, bolt it down temporarily, because obviously not obviously, but the floors will fit eventually over the top of this, but I'm going to bolt it in place with the seam sealant to get it positioned right, and then come round the back in the car, and then fit this assembly in as well, and connect up the cable, which is already in the car, ready to go. Come on. Well, that took quite some effort to get that sealed up, get this in, and to connect up the handbrake and all of the, you can see it underneath there, the brackets, etc., and the cable. Quite a lot of work involved in there, more than I expected. Now, while that's all been going on, this has been drying, so this has got a couple of coats of the primer and top coat, the marine paint, gone on okay. What I'm going to do now then is seal around the edges, so I know from experience that this will all rust away, you know. So I want to minimise the progress of that as best I can. So I'm going to put some of that seam sealant all the way around the back on the metalwork, and then embed that, plant that plywood onto there, and put my nice stainless steel fittings on, and that piece will then be finished. Well, that's in. Those fasteners look really smart, stainless steel, loving those. So pretty good. I've got some bolts in here and here, in fact all the way along, just temporarily to hold the transmission tunnel down before I put the boards in and the proper stainless steel screws in afterwards. But now it's just a repeat process for these boards and the 4 in the front to make a nice job. Well, that's it. The floor is in. Super shiny. Quite pleased with that. It's gone in okay. All these nice new shiny boards with their stainless steel fixings. All looking good. Now, I really want to get it moving under its own power. So I've got a little bit, well, they're not shiny bits, but new bits to put on, just to finish off the job. And then I'm going to get this old seat, fit that in the driver's side. I'm going to get in and I'm going to drive it. And in he goes. There we go. Ignition. Out of gear. Clutch. Reverse. Handbrake's off. Whoa! It's going. Well, I'm well chuffed with that. 48 years off the road, and now obviously I've got to tune the carbs. I need some other work to do, obviously, but it's actually a vehicle that drives now. So I'm absolutely thrilled to bits. Excellent. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and join me again where we'll do some other bits and pieces on the car to make it properly roadworthy. Thanks for watching. Bye.